Oh my god, I love this fucking thing. It's so fucking cool. I haven't had any practice. Do not fucking judge me. But I just got this. Also, just in case Skylar's watching this video, I'm gonna post that painting you made of me on that wall. Somewhere right around there, probably, is where I'm thinking I'm probably going to put it. It depends. I'm thinking right there. But there is a painting. Somebody made me a painting and was inspired basically by my friend Austin, who wrote... Hang on. Got it too. Hang on. Want to show that off one more time. My dream book. The last page. And it opens up. They're probably holding that upside down. Whatever. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, oh my god, amazing, dude. I swear to god, it's amazing. I got that, and somebody was inspired by that little seed of love and happiness and blah, 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 blah. And made me a painting. I was like, whoa. But I'm not going to show it off because I will just be holding a cell phone in front of a cell phone. I'm not trying to be that stupid right now. So, anyway, but I'm going to hang it right there when I get it. So today's video isn't really about that, but I am going to talk about that because it manifested. And it was an interesting manifestation. Let me tell you why. Get that hair in there. Oh, yeah. So I got this. This is a Native American flute in G minor at 432 hertz, which really helps out with the vibe of things. You can look that up yourself, but I'll give you a quick rundown. Sometime during World War II, some high-ranking Nazi decided, seriously, I'm not even being a dick, like a high-ranking Nazi decided all musical instruments will now be played and tuned into the hertz of 440. Interesting. And this is in 432, which is something you're just going to have to look up. But I'll keep it simple. This is the symbol of what it would look like when you play 432 hertz in water. It reacts a lot better when you play any tone in 432 hertz. If you make any music, an Eminem song, and everything was used in 432 hertz, the water will react beautifully. Otherwise, in 440, it's coagulated. You're mostly made of water. All living things are. Interesting. So that's what that represents. I got a 432 hertz stamp. Look, right up there under the G. This thing's got a circle of life. That's what it meant to represent. But I saw it as a 9 or a 6, which is my number. It's got 6 holes. It's got 3 line waves on each one. I even counted how many lines are in there. There's 8. Let's keep bringing up that girl. We've got 8. Anyway, it's got 2 rainbow moonstone fucking cabochons. How do you ever say that? And laid inside. I love it. And that sounds beautiful. Okay, I fucked that up. Hang on. Hey, I'm new. Fuck you. I love it. When I bought this, just because I'm trying to get into talking about how you manifest things, because this is a manifestation, but you just bought it with your money. Yeah, I know. Yeah, fuck off. Believe me, I've gotten gifts all the time that just popped up in my environment. I mean, I just showed you one. Anyway, when I bought this, I bought it, and I got this awesome case. Because in the video, it said if you're going to go on an airplane, you should buy this case. And I was like, well, I'm going to go travel to Scotland. So what would further benefit that belief? Like, let's say you want to travel to a foreign land. Well, when you do decide that, you move forward. Success is a decision away. You actually have to decide that. A decision is really made when you make a step within 48 hours after deciding it. After you make a decision, you will be tested. Guaranteed by the universe within 48 hours of that moment that you had. Example, I wanted to be a sailor. I watched a video on sailing. And I was trucking all across the United States. And very rarely do you make it to the coast. You're not, most of the time, you're never near the ocean. And you can't just drive away from your load. But the day I watched the video of sailing, it was either that night or after this story. I can't remember. But the point was, there was a night, I think it was afterwards. I can't remember. But the point is, one of those nights, I actually imagined my boat or my truck rocking when I was sleeping. And I wasn't even sleeping. I was just laying in bed going, holy fuck, I could actually feel the boat rocking. Very powerful. But I made a decision I was going to get into sailing. And so an opportunity presented itself. In 48 hours, I mean, I was told this, but I have nothing but a life's... I was told this. I didn't come up with this, but I was told that. And sure as shit, within 48 hours, I was in Alabama, in the tiniest little speck that actually touches the ocean. And I just got done dropping off a load at Walmart, but they didn't have a trailer for me. So I could drive my truck, and I parked it at a church. And I walked to a marina. And when I got there, a man by the name of John Hamilton, who, if you ever see some... Hell, I think my Doubtless Dyer fucking YouTube channel is the picture I'm talking about in the story, where it's me holding a fucking wheel of a sailboat. Not only did I meet a guy who had a sailboat off the water being fixed, it was literally a pirate ship. It literally looked like a pirate ship. And he gave me the full tour, and I got to go inside the entire ship and look at the deck and the captain's quarters and all the food and where he stored it and everything, and him painting it and him talking about how he inlaid the fucking engravings on the side and the name of the boat and everything. And it all magically happened within 48 hours. Now, with that said, when I bought this, I wanted this for a while. And I just got done going to New Mexico, as you know, walking across Native American land. Which I also could reconnect to that one time that I dropped off those two Native Americans in New Mexico in my truck. There was a time, many months before when I was a truck driver, that I picked up two natives with beer and everything. And, like, they're full-blooded. And I dropped them off. And they were living in the city, where all the white people live. And when I crossed Native American land, there was two white people living where the Native American land was. It was really funny. It was really crisscross applesauce, I swear to God. And I fucking danced with wolves and dogs that night. I mean, if you want to get into it, the dog was a half wolf, half dog. But I mean, you look at this thing, all you can see is a wolf. And I got to dance, quote unquote. It tried to kill me, and it couldn't. And it's a very interesting story, and your belief level is probably not that high to understand the whole moment and situation. You've probably never experienced it. It's definitely the most powerful experience I've ever had. And they just keep getting bigger. But anyway, that happened. And because of that, and because of how good I was feeling, and how all these situations were playing out in the way that they were, the waves from that quake of a vibe that I put out are coming back. And so when I bought this, I was looking online and feeling out what I wanted. And I figured out I wanted the G minor instead of the F minor. But I couldn't decide for a while. It took a minute. I had to take my time. No worry, don't worry about the timing. So I waited a while to figure out G or F. And I decided on G, which was $10 less than the F minor. G minor is better to practice with in the very beginning. And so when I bought this, and the sleeve, and this hard case, which further made me believe I was going to travel. And when I bought it, it cost $346 total. This piece is $220. It's by High Spirit Flutes, and it's an earth tone flute made out of walnut. And it's beautiful. Ooh. As a person who is a Taurus with a shit ton of earth energy in their chart, I'm telling you, I can just sit here and smell this and hold it and appreciate it. Oh my God, it's easy for me. It's easy for everybody, but like for me, I can just hold an object and appreciate all day, which doesn't mean that this has to be replicated. It just means I get more appreciation anywhere. But anyway, I bought this, $346 on the dollar. And my CVC number, which is the last thing on the back of your credit card that they usually ask you for when you buy something, was 346. Which was kind of, to me, a confirmation, because how did I feel when I saw that? I went, oh, this is totally the right idea. So I bought it, and I sent them a message saying something with love. And when I bought it, they gave me two sleeves. There's actually two in here. The 4 strings, that's because there's a second one inside the other one. It's hard to tell, but yeah, I got two in here. Anyway, so I got two of them. They gave me a free one, $26 bag. They gave me for free. 8. Sorry. God, I love numbers. Anyway, but I love this thing. I appreciate it so much. And when it came in, oh, everything's perfect. Everything's always perfect. If you don't believe that, that's why it's not. Because whether you think you can or you can't, either way, you're right. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and bring itself to believe, it can achieve. So, point is, everything's perfect. I know that, and I believe that. Therefore, it is. And because of that, when it came in the mail, it was a day late. No. It was right on time. But it was a day late. It said it was going to come in Saturday. No. It was right on time. Because when it came in and landed on my porch, my mom got up. She was watching a movie. She picked the movie. She decided what movie to watch. She decided to watch the movie Dances with Wolves. I was dancing with a wolf in the moonlight that night in New Mexico at 19-degree temperatures with snow on the ground. I did. And what a dance it was. It was a dance of death, and I didn't die. I'm very happy about that. They can't touch you if you're feeling good, so it doesn't matter. You can't get killed. I know it's too hard for you to believe right now, so don't even try. Believe me. Believe me that you probably can't do that yet. But you will get there. I swear to God. Anyway, point is, when it came in, Dances with Wolves were playing, and in the movie, it's a 3-hour movie, but it happened to pop up just when he's sitting there looking at all these Americans, looking at him, going, why are you dressed in Native American clothing, you other American? What the fuck? You're a traitor. And he says in, like, Sioux language that, I can't say it, but he says, translate in Sioux language, I am Dances with Wolves, and you are not worth talking to. You're not worth talking to. And that's when I got it. And this is like, do you see the connection? It's a Native American flute. I was in Native American territory. I danced with wolves. The movie was Dances with Wolves. I watched that movie, by the way. I highly suggest you watch it. I knew I had to watch it because I'd never seen it. And I was like 2 hours and 30 minutes in, and I didn't understand it. Beautiful movie. It made me cry, though. And it was considered one of the #1 westerns of all time, and it really shows the way of the Sioux Nation. Even the fucking actual Sioux Nation commemorated whatever his name is, the main actor and director, to become part of the community. And then he bought a bunch of land, which they were pissed off about later on. But anyway, point is, I got this, and Dances with Wolves played, so I watched the movie. Amazing movie. If you watch the very beginning of this movie, it starts out with, we're talking about 1863 or something, 18 something, or 1890, I don't fucking know, hit me in the nose. Anyway, and in the movie, he gets shot in the leg, and they're about to amputate his leg, so he gets out of the fucking medical tent when no one's looking, and he gets back onto the front line of battle, and there's this big field between him and the enemies that are firing at each other. And he gets this idea, he's looking at this horse. And they don't use words, but it's very obvious when you're on my side of the world, which millions and millions of us are. Billions and billions of us have been, just like me. He's feeling it out. He's like, I don't want to lose my leg and I'm dying. And this guy next to me is telling me about how I'm not going to be the first son of a bitch to walk across that field. You see those captains up there? They're waiting here for a show. And the admiral over there, I don't know the placements, but you know what I'm saying. The next guy lower than the other guys is sitting there going, I don't know what to do. I mean, there's a big field between us and them. And he gets this idea to get on this horse and basically ride out to his death, which is what I did in my life. So it was interesting because in the movie, he rides out on a horse like 10 feet away from 100 people with muskets. And he literally goes like this. Like he just puts his arms out and he's waiting to get shot. And he never gets shot. He does it twice. He goes by once and then the second time he's ready. He's like, fuck it, kill me. And it inspired all these people to run across the field because they see this other guy. And the story goes on and on and on. But the point is, he went out there fully prepared to die, and he didn't. This happens small scale to high scale all day long of everything you do. There's a lot of other scenes in that movie I could talk about for days. I mean, the movie is well made. It's got a lot of high level knowledge just blown into it. Example, in the movie, there's a scene where that same guy later on, because he's promoted from his brave acts of courage to go out onto the frontier alone to find an abandoned post. and all of them were killed by natives. But he's there and he's bored for long periods of time, and so when the Sioux Nation comes by, he actually becomes friends with them. But what really happens first is they keep trying to steal his horse, and the horse keeps coming back to him. And one of the times, the actual adults of the, like, it was kids that stole his horse. Native American kids stole his horse, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna be so brave when we get home." But no, so the actual natives come by, and it's one of them is called Wind in My Hair. That is his name. He's called Dances with Wolves. He's called Wind in My Hair. The girl's called Stand with Fist, because they name you after a major experience or something that they seen or something that were you really in a moment, which is interesting. Because that's how I use my powers all day. Someone would be coming up to me and be like, "Well, we got 3 baseball bats and you're going down." I'd be like, "I went 13,000 feet out of the sky. I ain't going down today." And it's like amazing how I can just think that and not even say it. And if I do say it, they like back the fuck down. They don't even know why. But it's because I'm bringing up an experience of high energy that they've never had. Therefore, I crumple them every time. And almost dying in New Mexico. Man, I did that with my boss. I'm trying to get off topic. But I did that with my boss. She was yelling at me to not talk to customers the way I was talking, which was nicely. And I was like almost, "Darn New Mexico." And fucking, and she was like, "Oh, shit." Like, I could tell. It gave her a headache. It immediately gave her a headache. She goes, "I can't. I'm so stressed now." I could tell. I just crumpled her. Crumpled her with vibe. It was so done. But in the movie, these Native Americans come riding up and they take their horse. So when he comes outside, he's got a gun. But they're already off in the distance. But one of the natives, called Wind in My Hair, turns around with a spear in hand and rides straight up to the dude with a pistol. And he says, you can't understand him, and neither can the guy at that time. But he says, translated, "I am Wind in My Hair. Look how I am not afraid of you. Ha! I do not care." And he knows he has a gun, and he knows what a gun is. He does. But he doesn't care. He's like, "Look at me. Like, look how I do not care. I am strong." And it's true. Like, he doesn't die again. Like, both people had that same experience. He ran off in the very beginning of the movie to die, and he didn't die. Likewise, the other, because he was feeling good. He was ready. He was feeling good. He was feeling good. He was feeling good knowing he was going to die, so he didn't die. I know it sounds weird. It's not what you want, it's how you're feeling, which gives you ultimately what you want. So the other dude was feeling really good about walking right up to this white man with a gun and going, "Look at me, look at me. Look, I am not afraid." And like, I was like, oh, this is such a great movie. Because like, that is such a very powerful and real thing I do all the time. I can't tell you how many times I've walked up. The baseball bat story isn't bullshit. I was in St. Clair, Missouri, and I was near the railroad tracks right next to the cafe right near Main Street, but I came down Main Street onto a side road right there, and there was like 8 or 9 people, and like 3 or 4 of them had baseball bats. And they all had their bats like this, like doing this shit, like, you know, walking like this and thugging, some of them holding them up and shit. And I got these straight looks right in my face. I can't remember if they said something first or what, but I just remember I felt it, which is these are some cocky motherfuckers. And whether or not they're going to hit anybody, it doesn't matter to me. I like to prove my strength all the time. So I fucking looked at them and I was like, "What's going on?" or something. I don't remember what I said. I really don't remember what I said. I just remember how I felt, which is I'm going to beat the shit out of somebody or everybody. I'm going to win. It's a fact. I've had experiences in the past that prove to me that no matter what, I always win. And it gets powerful, more powerful every time you do anything at the level you can, and you do it, you go up a level. And I'm at a level that and people are more subjectable in groups. That's why hypnotherapy and all this stuff works with groups. That's why riots happen. So actually, the funny thing is, you live in a world when you're alone and you meet a group of people that want to hurt you, they're more suggestible. They're more, that's not the word I'm looking for. Suggestible, sorry. They're more suggestible. I can actually influence them more than they can influence me. And it's funny because you probably believe that's reverse. You probably have been taught and believe that peer pressure and all these things, that it's in reverse, that the crowd controls you. No, I'm here to tell you of living proof from hundreds of experiences that actually when there's more people, good. I like that because I'm going to make you all bow, and I do it all the time. And in that experience, I don't remember what I said, but I said something, and I literally watched as they went and like lowered their bat like down to like the ground, and some of them even like kind of hid their bats, and they all were like, Yeah, I like these guys were out in the street trying to look thuggin' and tough, and they weren't just some dumb kids. They were like 20 something, and I was just like, I don't remember what I said, but I know what I was feeling, which is fucking amazing. And they just were like, ugh, crumpled. Just told you a story of how all these people in this Native American story didn't want to cross this field, but one guy did, and because of that, they're more suggestible. Because of his one high energy output, which they saw and experienced in their way, but either way, it doesn't matter. Subconsciously, they're reacting to vibe, even if they're not aware of it. It doesn't even matter. So with that said, they all ran out because of one guy. I guess to end this video, because it's getting really fucking long, highly suggest you watch Dances with Wolves. Pow! It's an awesome movie. I fucking loved it, dude. It was perfect. It's like I waited my whole life to watch this movie because I danced with a wolf, and it was fucking cool. And I danced with a wolf a lot better than that guy did. He was just playing with a wolf. I was fucking out there with a dog wolf that was meant to kill on sight and ran right at my dick and was trying to bite it off, but I had my hands in the air, kind of like this, but in this direction. Like, oh, I'm ready. It's a great movie. Ah! Anyway, so watch Dances with Wolves if you want to feel good. It will leave you feeling good. I guarantee it. It's a good movie. High vibration movies. You gotta be careful about what the fuck you watch. Anyway, and I want to give a shout out to fucking High Spirit Flutes. I fucking love it. Thank you for sending me a fucking $26 free bag. I got the fucking plane-proof bag for when I go to Scotland. Oh, and I donated blood yesterday for the first time, which was really cool. I guess I'll explain more about that later because the video's so goddamn long. I know it's going to cut off anytime. But anyway, I love you all. I'm going to post more videos later. Keep fucking rocking it, dudes. Oh!